The camera is open on that polished New York studio, lights glowing warm, audience buzzing like they know something big is coming. Reba McEntire steps out with her familiar smile, steady, gracious, the kind of presence that makes the whole room feel softer. The applause is loud, respectful. She waves, takes her seat, ready for what she assumes is just another friendly daytime interview. But the air feels different, a little heavier, a little too still. Joy Behar starts the show with her usual sharp humor, but the tone is off, not playful, not warm, it's edged. Reba laughs politely at the first joke, though you can see it doesn't fully land. Joy keeps pushing, tossing out comments that feel less like jokes and more like little tests. The audience laughs uncertainly, sensing the tension growing underneath the smiles. Reba tries to lift the mood. She talks about her new projects, her tour, her love for connecting with fans. Her voice is steady, but her eyes flick toward Joy every few seconds, reading her, trying to understand what's happening. The other co-hosts shift uncomfortably, jumping in at random moments to soften Joy's tone, but it's no use. Joy is steering the ship today, and she's steering it straight toward a storm. Then mid-conversation, Joy leans forward. Her expression sharpens, almost challenging. She pauses just long enough to make the room go silent, to force everyone, including Reba, to brace for something they can't quite see yet. Reba's smile fades just a hair. She recognizes that look. America recognizes it too. Joy inhales, eyes narrowing with a kind of smug anticipation, and says she's got a real question, one people from the South never want to hear on national TV. The audience gasps. Reba blinks, steady but ready. And then Joy opens her mouth. But the screen cuts to black. The show returns from the break, but the energy is nothing like before. The applause is thin, uncertain, like the audience isn't sure if they should clap at all. Reba sits a little straighter, hands folded, watching Joy with a guarded calm. Joy doesn't waste a second. She leans in again, voice low but cutting, and delivers the comment that freezes the entire room. So Reba, do you ever feel embarrassed coming from a place that still thinks the way the South does? The air snaps, a few audience members gasp, others shift in their seats. Even the co-hosts look stunned, one of them actually mouths, "Joy, what are you doing?" Reba doesn't speak right away. She just looks at Joy, really looks at her, like she's trying to decide if that question was ignorance, arrogance, or something worse. When she finally speaks, her voice is soft but firm, the kind of tone that demands respect without raising a single decibel. She explains that being Southern isn't something to apologize for, that it's about family, roots, resilience. But Joy interrupts again, laughing under her breath, making it sound like Reba is being sensitive. That's when it happens. Reba slowly removes her mic pack, sets it on the table, and whispers with a trembling edge, "I won't sit here and be talked to like that." The audience erupts, and Reba's chair shifts back. Producers rush toward the edge of the set, whispering into headsets, panic spreading like wildfire. The hosts exchange frantic glances, unsure whether to intervene or let the moment play out. Joy forces out a laugh too loud, too forced, trying to pretend she still has control. "Oh, come on, Reba, don't be dramatic," she says, waving her hand as if she can brush off the explosion she just triggered. But Reba doesn't sit. She steadies herself, one hand on the back of her chair, eyes locked on Joy with a quiet, rising fire. "You think this is about drama," she says softly. The room goes dead still. Even the cameras seem to stop moving. Joy tries to justify her comment, but every word only digs her deeper. She rambles about modern values, progress, and old Southern mindsets, sounding less like a host and more like someone defending the indefensible. Reba listens, jaw tight, her breath controlled but heavy with emotion. Finally, Reba steps forward, not aggressive, just grounded, powerful. She talks about where she comes from, the dirt roads, the church halls, the family who taught her loyalty and humility. She talks about neighbors who look out for each other, about communities that survive storms because they know how to stand together. Every sentence hits like a heartbeat, steady and real. The audience starts murmuring, sensing that Reba isn't just defending herself, she's defending millions. Joy tries to interrupt again. Reba stops, looks at her, and something in the room shifts. With a slow, deliberate motion, Reba pushes her chair back fully. The legs scrape against the floor, a sharp sound that sends a ripple through the audience. She stands tall, and the studio gasps in unison. The camera operators scramble, their lenses jerking as they try to follow Reba's sudden rise. Producers gesture wildly from the sidelines, signaling the hosts to ease the tension, to regain control, to do something asterisk, but it's far too late. The moment has slipped out of anyone's hands. Joy sits frozen, her usual smirk flickering into something uneasy. "Reba, let's not turn this into a scene," she says, voice thinning, but the audience hears the fear under it. The other co-hosts lean forward, desperate to de-escalate, whispering for a commercial break, yet the producer in the control room refuses to cut away. The ratings spike is too tempting. The chaos is too real. Reba steps away from the table, calm but visibly shaken. She keeps her voice low, but every syllable carries through the room, sharp and heavy. Respect isn't something you get to joke about on national television, she says, not yelling, just telling the truth with the weight of someone who's been pushed too far. Joy tries to counter, stammering now, saying she didn't mean it like that, but the words fall flat. The audience reacts instantly, some clapping for Reba, others stunned into silence. The tension becomes a living thing, pulsing through the set, impossible to ignore. Reba pauses at the edge of the stage, turning back toward the table one last time. Her expression is a mix of strength and hurt, the kind that only forms when a line has truly been crossed. You don't get to belittle where people come from, she says quietly, and expect them to smile through it. The studio erupts, gasps, applause, murmurs, all colliding at once. Then Reba turns her back to the cameras and begins walking off the set. Backstage chaos explodes the moment Reba steps beyond the curtain. Crew members rush toward her, some pleading, some simply stunned. A senior producer jogs beside her, whispering urgently, "Reba, please just give us 60 seconds. We can fix this. We can let you respond on your own terms." But Reba doesn't answer right away. She keeps walking, slow and deliberate, as if weighing every step. Back at the table, the mood has shifted into full-blown crisis mode. Joy sits unnaturally still, her confidence cracked, her eyes darting toward the cameras and then toward the offstage commotion. She tries to force a laugh, but it dies halfway out. "I mean, she's not actually leaving, right?" she says, looking to her co-hosts for backup. None of them respond. In the control room, executives appear, real suits, real panic. Someone shouts, "We cannot end this segment without resolution. Get her back or switch to the panel now." The cameras catch Reba pausing near the emergency exit door. A mic tech rushes to her with her unplugged pack, begging softly, "If you want to speak your truth, America is still listening." Reba turns around slowly. The audience watches on monitors, holding their breath. Even Joy is frozen, waiting for the verdict. Reba closes her eyes for a moment, gathering herself, and then takes a single step forward, back toward the stage. But before she can speak, the screen suddenly cuts to an emergency network bumper, leaving the world guessing what Reba chose in that final, electric moment. If you're still here after that unbelievable moment, then you already know this wasn't just a talk show meltdown. This was a cultural flashpoint happening in real time. And now I want you to be part of the conversation. Before you scroll away, take a second to engage, because your voice actually shapes what stories get told next. If you felt Reba stood up for something bigger than herself, hit that *** button. It takes 1 second, and it tells the YouTube algorithm that moments like this matter. Drop a *** comment * below and tell us what you think. Did Joy cross the line? Did Reba make the right call by standing up and walking out? Should guests be treated with more respect on national television, no matter where they're from? I read through the comments, and your opinions help decide what stories we cover next. And if you want more dramatic, high-stakes breakdowns of the moments TV networks hope you forget, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. That one click tells YouTube you want more truth, more analysis, and more real-time reactions to the stories shaking Hollywood, Nashville, DC, and beyond. This channel is growing fast, and joining now means you're part of the community shaping the narrative, not just watching it. Hit like, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more. Your voice matters here.